Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote-unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to queue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back. All right, all you positive heads. On this week's Soul Share, I'm very excited to have Dr. Rulin here with me on the show. Rulin is a quantum physicist and string theorist who co-founded the Soul Mind Body System with Master Sha, who was a guest actually on episode 1580 last year. And she diligently works at the forefront, helping to unify science and spirituality at the most fundamental level. Hello, Rulin. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hello, Brendan. Thank you so much to give me the honor to share on your show.
Yeah, it's exciting to have you here. Our mutual friend Steve, made it happen, and he's such a great connection to the work that you and Master Sha are doing. I know he works closely with you guys, and I'm just very excited to have the chance to dive in and learn more and discuss. I would like to start with my what I call my cliche opening question, and it is this. You're in an elevator. The woman next to you looks over, says, "What's your passion?" You have 10 floors to answer. What do you say?
Yeah, when I was about 18 years old, and I got this dream to find the grand unified theory to explain everything. So grand unification theory is to use one mathematical formula to explain everything.
Right.
So that dream has become my passion in the last 40 years.
What a dream.
And I work very diligently for this. And also this is my dream to spread my research and to help enlighten and empower humanity with this grand unification theory.
Yeah. Wow. That's quite the aim and dream, and I look forward to just hearing more about it. I have like 5 questions popping into my head already, but I'm getting excited about it. Before I go too deep down the rabbit hole, what I'd love to hear, and you just shared a little bit of it, whatever feels relevant to share regarding your backstory. How did you get here and doing the work, the unique work that you're doing?
Yeah. So when I was 18, I went to one of the best university in China. And so in the university, I got somehow become obsessed, so fascinated and obsessed about finding this theory that can unify everything. At that time, I got really into what Einstein is doing. As he's trying to find the theory that can unify electromagnetic force with gravity. He's trying to find the one theory that can unify these two forces.
Yeah.
And then later, quantum physics, I studied quantum physics. So in quantum physics, we're trying to find a unified theory that can unify all the forces, weak force, strong force, and gravity and also electromagnetic field, and also trying to unify all the matters and forces. And so that has been my dream. And but I worked really, really hard on it. And but I couldn't find, then later I went to University of California in Berkeley and got my PhD on string theory. String theory is currently the most promising theory for the grand unification theory, that can unify all the forces and all the matters, and also to explain why we live in a four-dimensional space and time. And but string theory holding this amazing promise, but still there's something is missing. String theory just cannot really solve the problem. And so I worked really, really hard, and and then but I couldn't get an answer. But then I go through all kinds of actually challenges and difficulties, and but eventually all of those actually empower me to even increase my dream. So it's not only just by so now when I'm working on not only just unify all the forces, all the matters, but also to unify science and spirituality. So I have now a grand unification theory that can unify everything. So very exciting. So that is my whole passion.
Wow. Yeah. So that was really something that came to mind, because it sounds like you really started off on a scientific journey, and then hold on, if I'm going there, the way I sort of think of science and spirituality, it's like two sides of the same coin. So it's two different ways of talking about the same things to me, and so I think it's interesting, that you started down the path of science. I mean, were you a particularly spiritually minded person when you began, or did that develop as you went along?
Yeah, actually, I was, I grew up in China during Cultural Revolution. So I did not learn anything spiritual except the communist teachings,
right?
And so all my whole formal education is in science. So I remember actually even in Berkeley, there are people taking me to do meditation. I couldn't really do it.
Yeah, right.
So I was not really spiritually inclined. And, but then I couldn't find the answer for the grand unification theory when I was just focusing on the science.
Yeah.
In fact, I lost hope. I kind of become very, very discouraged. And in fact, I left physics after I worked in the Houston Advanced Research Center and also did some research in Harvard. I give up. Actually went to, there's an opportunity come, and I moved to Hawaii and start a business, and completely give up on physics. But in Hawaii, and I had my spiritual awakening, and then I really actually starting to develop my spiritual side and learn about spiritual wisdom and practices.
Gotcha. Very interesting. And I know some people out there, you mentioned string theory and it being the most promising thing in physics. And so maybe you could just take a quick moment for those who aren't familiar, just to high level, what string theory is.
Yeah. So normally, we so in physics, we think about if you cut things to a smaller and smaller part, then the smallest thing will become a particle, a dot. And so the theory is based on this kind of assumptions. So string theory is saying if you cut things to smaller and smaller parts, then it is not a dot, it's actually a string. And so this string can vibrate. And kind of like, violin have different notes coming out of it.
Yeah.
So in the string theory, they find out, so you study the string, smallest thing is a string vibrates coming out of different notes. That is becomes the particle, the elementary particles, the matters we observe, and also fundamental forces we discovered in nature.
Yeah.
So string theory can, basically can explain, can unify all the matters, all the forces, including space and time.
Yeah.
And in one theory.
Yeah. Very interesting. And I'm curious what you think about the Nobel Prize in 2022 in physics. I just recently saw that, and I thought it was just a fascinating thing that I had a guest on the show recently with a physics background, and they were saying their observation was it really points. It says a lot about where sort of the physics attention is going. Sort of like the fact that this is what won the Nobel is just a good sign that they're supporting the scientific community is really supporting this like spooky action at a distance. And this idea, now it's basically proven that things aren't just influenced by physical locality, right? The quantum entanglement. You can affect particles at a great distance, which really to me, and then the other piece of that is, the idea that, quantum superposition things, if consciousness isn't observing it is, like Einstein said, hold on, are you saying if I'm not looking at the moon, it's not there? And it's sort of like the Nobel Prize winning in 2022 basically shows, look, quantum entanglement, it's not, things aren't billiard, the cosmos isn't billiard balls. You can affect something at beyond light speed across space and time because the particles are entangled instantaneously, which really ties into the spiritual idea of why a mother who instantly knows something is wrong with her child, when I think of my friend when he cut his finger off, as his mom instantly called him, what happened? Well, they're quantumly entangled, right? And so it's actually the science supporting these spiritual realities that have been kind of scoffed at for a long time. So I'm curious what you think about that.
Yeah, I completely agree. In fact, I wrote a book called Tao Science. And so in this book, we actually explains that, the quantum entanglement, it has actually been discovered more than 100 years ago.
Right.
About 100 years ago, around there. So many physicists, including Einstein, they don't like that.
Yeah.
This sounds so spooky,
Yeah.
And so now they win Nobel Prize for it. It's really like, just like you said in my book, I talk about this quantum entanglement indicates, if I and you and I were quantum entangled in some aspect, then what I think you can instantly can instantly occur inside you.
Yeah.
Like you said, the mother and the children, they are very quantum entangled,
right.
And something happened to the children and the mother can feel it, right?
Yeah.
And we have this kind of experience all the time. You suddenly think of you want to, to call someone and suddenly the phone rings, right? And that person you think about it just calling you because you are quantum entangled for something.
Yeah.
And so definitely this is a lot of the phenomena. Actually, this is exactly what my research right now is showing quantum physics, and also we even developed into the next level of a grand unification theory can really explain some of the spooky and spiritual phenomena scientifically.
Yeah.
And even mathematically.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I mean, I had a great example of this a few weeks ago. I shared it on the podcast, but I'll just share with you. It was such a cool one for me because it was so pronounced. It was like I started randomly in the day thinking of, I believe it was a birthday party. It was a sleepover when I was like 12 years old. I mean, 30 plus years ago now for me, and I just started thinking of this random night in so long ago. And then thinking about my cousin who's a little bit older than me ordering pizza. And then, like, hold on, why did he order pizza? Oh, yeah, it kind of felt like it was like a big deal. We ordered pizza without our parents, He was a little bit older, and it's like, ooh, we're up late. We stayed up all night, and he ordered pizza, and mom or dad wasn't involved in that decision. We can do this, And it's just like, and it's just a random memory from 30 plus years ago. And I was sitting there thinking about it for like over a minute, contemplating the night. And then I'm like, hold on, why am I thinking about this for so long? And I went about my day. And a few hours later, my brother messages me a video from the 80s. He's like, in very dramatic fashion, he sends me this music video that would have been on MTV that night. We'd have probably watched it. It was real popular at that time. He's like, it's your birthday. We're 12 years old. You're 12 years old. This video's on. Craig orders pizza. Like that, he starts like narrating that night, and I'm like, in a text message, I'm like, I instantly call him. What in the world? Where did this come from? He goes, I saw this video yesterday and I watched it, and it's a really good song. And then it kept popping up on my feed. So I was thinking about that night, so I must have picked up earlier in the day him thinking about it. And then all of a sudden he, decides to send me this funny message describing the whole night. But it was like, wow, that was like a really powerful example of this, right?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's really illustrate to the listeners how this quantum entanglement affect us on the daily life. Sometimes why we're suddenly think of something.
Yeah.
There's a reason. There's a reason somebody else.
Yep.
You have that. Both of you experiencing that, and he's thinking about it.
Yep.
And that occurs to you. So that's wonderful. So you have the quantum entanglement with him, even from the past. And when you think about that's coming to you.
Yeah.
So this is also, so this kind of quantum entanglement or, synchronicity happens in our daily life, actually. Often you ask why certain things you just started thinking about, and including, a lot of people, they keep thinking about, why something happens to you, including sicknesses, challenges, and difficulties, or good fortunes, right? And, some people, they don't need to work hard, and somehow good fortune just happened to them.
Yeah.
So why is that? So this is also what our Tao science can explain. It's actually, in a deep level, it's basically just a cause effect, just like what you have just shared.
Yeah.
Because either in the past you have done something that has made other people experience, if you have done something in the past and it caused this quantum entanglement, right? And you did something and then made other people happy, successful. And then when other people experience this happiness, success, that can just spontaneously coming to you. And even you have not really done much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's funny because I talk about that with this show as an example. It's like the aim is to help as many people as possible, and it's reached 20 million plus listeners in its history, to shift perspectives, to create more abundance, happiness, health, all the things in their life. And I always say it's the good kind of selfish, because it's like I'm doing it and knowing that if I help these extensions of self, that energy comes back to me in some way, shape, or form. And that's exactly what you're describing, right?
Exactly. This is basically how, in some Eastern philosophy or, wisdom is called karma.
Mm-hmm.
So you did something, and what you did affect other people, and then that, that karma can come back to you.
Yeah.
So if you did something, made other people happy and healthy, then that could help happy and health will come back to you. If made other people successful and wealthy, and that success and wealth will come to you.
Yeah.
But if you made other people angry, sad, or have difficulties or become sick, that also going to come back to you.
Yeah, right.
So this is why, we have to be careful what we're doing, what's in impact on other people.
Yeah. It really makes a lot of sense. I always think of there's a meme that I saw years ago that I just love, and it's a bunch of people sitting around an open bowl of food, like giant bowl, and they have really long spoons, and they're trying to like feed themselves, but the spoons are too long. They can't get it to their own mouth, but they can feed the person across from them. And so it's like, it's like Gandhi saying, if you want to find yourself, lose yourself in the service of others. And I always add, I believe that holds true because there are no others. And this is the way the universe works. The sun doesn't shine for itself. All of nature is serving in some way, shape, or form. And as we get more in line with our own inherent nature, it must be a key component for the individual and the collective to thrive.
Yeah, very beautifully said. I love that. You have deep insight, spiritual wisdom. And so in Tao Science, which Master Sha and I co-founded, we literally actually explain this, why this happens scientifically. And it really shows that we are truly one. And what we give to others, exactly what's going to come back to us. It can be delayed.
Yeah.
Right. And it can be, but it can be inherited even. Yeah. So if you did something good, and it can, not only you can be affected, but also your children can be affected. Oof. On the hand, what we are experiencing could come from our ancestors, what they have done.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah. That really leads into a question that I want to ask you. I'm curious about how it, I'm so excited to understand. I think about all the things I'll look into when I have greater insight beyond the veil. And I know some of this can come into our, these insights obviously trickle into our human form as well. But you've come up with a scientific definition for soul. And so what you just touched on is like, okay, so what my grandfather did or didn't do, or grandmother did, is can ripple into my world because of our connection. So where does the line begin and end? What is a soul? What is, you hear this concept of oversoul. I've had explained in detail years back on the show. So I'm curious, what is your definition of soul, that you've come up with?
Yeah. So in Tao Science, in fact, we can give soul a scientific and a mathematical definition. And so I remember when I met Master Sha many years ago, at that time I had my spiritual awakening. I realized my spiritual journey is more important, actually. At that time I was very successful, had wealth and very successful business, and I realized that is not its success can come to me so easily. Yeah. But there's something more important in life, and that is. So I started to work with Master Sha and doing this to learning about the soul. And Master Sha at that time is a soul healer. So he helped people to heal their soul. So I was so inspired by what he's doing and by his soul healing and create amazing soul healing miracles. Yeah. And so I was like, so I started to learn from him. But often, sometimes I sit in his workshop just thinking about, I'm a physicist, right? And I educated as a physicist. I was just wondering, like, what is a soul? How can I understand the soul from physics point of view? But then one day I had an aha moment, and I realized the soul actually can be studied scientifically and even defined and even calculated scientifically. So the insight is that the soul is actually, in quantum physics, also Einstein said everyone is actually a field, right? So we are ultimately, this body is just temporary, but we are a quantum field. And so in our Tao Science, we find that this quantum field carries three things. So one is what we are very familiar is the matter. So matter is something we can touch, we can see, we can measure, we can observe, right? And the second thing is everything contains is energy. So energy is what can move and change the matter. So we need energy to jump, to move our car and to heat up the water, right? So energy is what can change and moves the matter. And then there's third thing. Everything has. That is information. So what is information? Information is what informs, right? It is what gives a shape and form to energy and matter. And so, for example, the information in your bank, right, determines how much money you can get out of that bank.
Yeah.
Right? And the blueprint of the house, which is information about the house, determines the shape and function of the house.
Right.
So information is what actually determines the energy and the matter. And so information, information, as we find that the soul is basically, so information is carried in our quantum field, right? It's a vibrational field which actually extends over space and time. Right. And so a quantum field is basically extends over space and time. So our soul is basically the content of this information that carried in our field. And this information extends over space and time. So your ancestors' information is still in the universe somewhere and impacting you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're quantumly entangled with them, right? If you came through them physically, like it would make sense. Like me and my brother.
Exactly. So the more you entangle with them, of course, the more you are affected by them. But you definitely affected by them to some great level. So the soul is basically, we discover soul is basically content of the information that is in our quantum field. And so our physical body can stop functioning, we die, but the soul, the quantum field will not die, right? There's still, and the information is still, the quantum field is still going to keep going, and our soul, the information is going to still going.
Yeah.
So that is why the soul can be internal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and our physical life is very limited, but the soul can have a huge journey, and we call it soul journey, right? And the soul has its own purpose. And so if our physical life is, in fact, is to serve our soul, right? And if our physical life, so the soul is actually the boss. Right. And the soul has a big purpose, have big dreams. And so if our physical life does not serve our soul, then we'll be not happy. The soul will not be happy, and then we will not be happy.
You know what comes to mind when you did? Two things come to mind. One is a great song by Sting, of which he's an amazing singer-songwriter if you're not familiar. Let Your Soul Be Your Pilot. It's such a beautiful song. The other thing that comes to mind that I haven't thought of in a really long time, I have a friend who I haven't seen in many years, but she's very sensitive, very intuitive. She did a plant medicine journey, ayahuasca, and she had her vision during that journey. I remember her recounting to me, it was really interesting. She said that she saw that what she called sort of our oversouls, like the sort of the conglomerate of, I guess if you think of us as nested dolls, like here I am as this avatar, but then the soul of this, that's animating this body is part of a bigger soul, which is part of a bigger soul. And, and I'm curious your thoughts on that perspective. But what she said she saw was this, our higher self or oversoul or whatever you want to call it, like sort of like playing its game with human form. And it's like some oversouls were really into what their character was doing and watching it very closely and, very on it. And then she see others that were like, their human was way off course and they're just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Like, and it's kind of like almost like playing a game, some souls are taking it real serious. Others were less concerned and way off track, but yet it was kind of like like I said, a big whatever to them and everything in between. So visually, the way she kind of painted that picture to me was always very interesting. And I haven't thought of that in a while, but Curious what your thoughts are on that and this idea of, sort of a oversoul or, higher self, etc.
Yes, yes, yes. Very. Yes. So in our teaching is we have our manifested soul, which is the soul that is controls our current life. So that those type of active information that is now controls our current life. Yeah. And so of course, those soul, they can have different characters, like your friend was saying. Even there are and different. They have their own characters and their own qualities and personalities. Depends on the information. So basically, information, right, determines all those. And but also we have original soul. Original soul is the soul that's coming from ultimate source, that where we all come from.
Right.
So that is our higher self.
Yeah.
That our higher self is one with the source.
Right.
And the source, which in Tao science is the Tao, it is the source contains infinite positive information, energy, and matter. So that is our original self, and so that is where we want to truly go back to. Yeah, and so we come to this physical life trying to learn some lessons and have some experience to learn some lessons, and then hopefully ultimately we can go back to our higher self, our true self, the source.
It's almost like we're sent as emissaries for source, right? Like, I've heard it said, we're God godding. This is God experiencing herself through our souls and our physical experience. We gather experience and information and then bring it back home, which then this is the way God source evolves itself, through sending out its emissaries to experience.
Exactly. So we are, that's a beautiful way to see it. And also for us, I'm teaching Tao science to really teach people that each one of us have this connection with the ultimate source, which has infinite love, abundance, joy. And so we're not limited in any way. All of us are infinitely loved, supported, and protected. And and there are something, this infinite, you just think about infinite bank, you can actually connect with and for our creation and manifestation. So none of us need to feel left out, isolated, or disempowered.
Yeah. I always say, when we start talking about the idea of, you said infinite bank, like abundance, right? It's like, if you can remember as your human self, like, hold on, I'm one with the source that built this place. That's how abundant I am.
Exactly.
Like, it is everywhere I go, I'm there waiting for myself. So anything that I would want more of in my world is actually, there's just an illusion of separation between you and it. It's actually you in disguise already. Yes. And so it's about removing those blockages and blinders, I would say.
Yes, beautiful.
I've also, heard some theories around that's kind of interesting about sort of us being composite souls. Like, I'm curious if you've ever heard anyone talk in this way. Like, I think there's a teacher named Teal Swan who's pretty well known. Not sure if you're familiar with her or not, but she's like, I'm 10%. Who was it? A great spiritual teacher from the early 1900s. I'm going blank on the name now. But anyway, she's like, this, I'm 10% that soul. I'm 20% this. I'm like, some people presented this idea, and it's one that's kind of intriguing to me. Like, we're somehow composites, as well. And I'm curious if you've ever heard that idea or have any thoughts around it.
Yeah, definitely. This is very common, and we all, like you can even like trying to merge one with different saint, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do it on
Mm-hmm.
purposely. It's not like, you're
Yeah.
born this way, or I'm
Yeah.
born, maybe
Call
a
it in.
connection with this saint. But you can also cultivate yourself to be connected with Jesus, for example, and become 100% one with Jesus, or Mother Mary, or Guan Yin, or some.
I'm calling in. I just said last night, I got excited because you're actually reinforcing what I said. No, actually this morning I had a conversation with my partner and I was like, for the new year, I want to call in more Alan Watts energy. I just think he's like the coolest philosopher teacher, and so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just got excited there because you're literally reinforcing this thought and idea that I shared a few hours ago that I've never really done before, which is I want to proactively call in a particular personality's voice and energy in some way. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that's actually what we teach, in our, we call Tao Academy and Tao Science. And we teach you how to connect with certain saint and or any information you want to get about anything in the universe. And you can connect and ask for it. You can connect with God, ask God a question, and God can answer your questions. You can connect with Jesus, or, like you said, what you want to connect. Yeah, you can, that is actually our active spiritual practice. And now I'm doing research. I just ask universe for the answers. So that expedited my research greatly.
Yeah, right,
Not in the past, I just cannot get the answers, So I'm glad now today you finally got the insight to do this. This is great. So this is another coincidence, right? And it's not coincidence.
You're right. That's exactly my point. Yeah. Alan Watts, Ram Dass, Wayne Dyer, those are three energies that are like, I feel pings and parts of in myself, anyway. And so I tapping into more of, all three of them. All three of them have passed in the last, some just a few years ago. Alan Watts, I think, passed in the late 70s, maybe early 80s. But Anyway.
Yeah, but their spirit is still alive. You can ask them for guidance, assistance, supports, and wisdoms. So, yeah, wonderful.
All right, guys. Hope you're listening. So very, very cool. That's inspiring. I know one of the things that you offered to do is a soul healing, a demonstration of a soul healing with me, and so I'm super excited about exploring that, and maybe you can also too, either before or after, speak to the idea of you've got soul healing, and then what is soul sickness, and in whichever order, whichever you prefer to do, first too.
Yeah, I would love to share about soul sickness. So many people, you might, you notice, you're quite good with many things, but then one aspect of your life or one part of your body or health, somehow you just have this ongoing pattern. It's very difficult for you to get out of it, right? And for some people, just have this ongoing issue with someone, or you just have ongoing unhappiness in some aspect, or ongoing challenge, and or health issues, and or certain patterns. Sometimes we don't recognize negative patterns. We don't recognize, but other people can see it very clearly. And so why is that? So that is due to we call it soul sickness. So what is soul sickness? So remember, the soul is the content of information in your field. And this content of information actually is a boss. They dictate how your life is going to run. So if you have some negative information in some aspect of your life, then you're going to have sicknesses, challenges, and difficulties, and lackings, right? Maybe even catastrophes. Yeah. And so this is basically soul sickness is basically the negative information in some aspect. So the
Right.
healing, and also we discovered in the Tao science, the soul sicknesses is a root cause of physical sickness and relationship challenges, financial challenges, or challenges in every aspect of our lives. So if you can heal the soul sickness, then your every aspect of your life can be enhanced.
Right.
So I want to give you one example. For example, one of woman come to me. She had a cruciating pain for quite half a year, I think, and she cannot go to her work. It was just too painful. She went to see every possible way, and no doctor can release it. On a painkiller, but still, even painkiller cannot really stop it. So she come to me, and so I'm being trained as a soul healer, which is by Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha, and he is a world-renowned soul healer. And so now he's a Tao healer. And Tao healer means that he connects with the source, the Tao, to bring the positive information, energy, and matter to help you to heal. And so soul healing and the Tao healing heals people at the root cause. So this woman, she has pain, right? So I spent some time with her, less than an hour, and all her pain is gone.
Wow.
And not only that, I tell her, I said, your pain is caused by. So I tell her what's the root cause, right? The root cause is she has been giving herself negative information about life. She thinks life is a pressure, is a struggle,
Yeah.
and which is later on I have heard from her daughter. She's an immigrant from South Africa, America, I think. I don't remember, maybe Peru or somewhere, or not
Oh, South
Peru,
America.
maybe
South
Mexico,
America.
somewhere there. And so she come to this country. Actually, she has to send her children back to Mexico so that she can make money and to send back to raise the family. Later, she was able to bring her children back, but still, she's still constantly in this pressure and struggle to make a living. And so this kind of negative mindsets, right, negative information she gave to herself about life caused her to have this, for so many years, have this pain. So I said, now I remove those negative information for you. So now your pain is gone. But not just that. I want you can also have a great change in your life. Now you can start to tell yourself, life is not a pressure, right?
Yeah.
Life is for you to enjoy. And there's a lot of abundance everywhere. Yeah. And so I said, now you don't have pain, but you don't have to go to work right away. I said, just relax, learn how to relax and enjoy in life. I said, if you can do that, you will get a better job and get paid more. So she really followed my instruction, and so in less than months, she find a job that paid her double, and work only half of the time.
Wow.
So and then after that, her life completely changed. She donates money to people, to organizations, and helping others. And actually, later she became a soul healer. To help
Wow.
others. So
Wow.
this is, and so her life is completely changed.
Yeah.
Not only through soul healing, not only she, the pain is completely gone without any medication, but also her life completely changed. And her relationship with her children, and also with neighbors, community, with herself, right, is completely changed. Now she lives a different life.
Wow.
And much elevated.
Amazing. Super, super inspiring. Well, yeah, if you're still up for it, I would be honored and super appreciate if you wanted to do a demonstration of a soul healing now.
Yeah, so you want to tell the audience which one you want to do?
Yeah,
You thank you for you want to be a demo and
yeah,
experience the soul healing and the Tao healing, and to tell us what and in the beginning you talk about three
three
challenges you
ailments.
want to
Yeah,
address.
yeah, three ailments. Three ailments. So one is a shoulder, just kind of weakness or pain. I've been going to the gym more diligently the last 6 months or so, and I noticed when I started to do shoulder exercises, it's like my left shoulder is like, ow, it's like weak and it hurts. And then now I'll lay on my left side sometimes and I feel it, at night. I've never really had aches or pains too much, but that's something I remembered from years ago working out, and it'd feel that sort of pull or weakness. I don't know what happened in there, but it seems like it has never properly healed. And so I have that. I have frequent urination since forever. It's something that I think a lot of men deal with, but my father very young, me very young. Now my son is starting a little bit. We're just like peeing more than the average person, and it's a pain, more than anything, just annoyance, and sometimes more annoyance than other. And then the third thing is I think it's gut related. I've had eczema, sort of like rashy redness that'll appear on my face, sometimes scalp, and I went to a holistic doctor who's like, yeah, it's mainly gut related, and I've done some things that for a while it was better, and now it's kind of flared again. So those are the three. I'm blessed to say those are the only really physical challenges I have in my life, and so any of them that got better, I would be super grateful for.
Yeah. Yeah. So as a soul healer, I can just see for you,
Mm-hmm.
Is and this three elements are related, and so
Interesting.
the urine thing is related to the kidney and also related to some of the fear that is your ancestor has experienced.
Wow.
So the fear,
Makes sense.
the negative, information that harms your urinary system as well as your kidney. So they are weak. And so this is very important for the longevity, the kidney, and it's very important for longevity. So so definitely, I'll recommend you to do some healing on this, and I will offer you some healing. And also part of you showed your left shoulder, right? Have some pain. It's also so because of fear, you have is through your ancestors and also yourself have some blockages because of fear can open up to receive love. And so that is part of the right shoulder was a little bit pain, and it's because of those kind of blockages. And the same thing with asthma. This kind of fear can have, cause worry and affect your digestive systems as well as your lungs and make your skin have this kind of issue. So all of this can coming from the one source, which is negative information related to the fear, which your ancestor have experienced and which is passing down through your line.
I feel that that rings very true for me. I mean, I think of my own having done plant medicine journeys, for example. It's been many years now since the last time, but using ayahuasca, and half a dozen times, every time for me, it was about processing fear, like deep-seated fear that feels like mine and ancestral. Because on the surface, I don't feel super fearful, but deep in, I feel there's fear, and so that definitely resonates.
Yeah, wonderful. So so the one thing is to releasing that fear, and if you want, you can even connect with that fear, and I will offer you a healing to help you to release that. Yeah, and so that will help you to heal your kidney, and and also will help you to open your heart more to release that. So the pain in the shoulder, I really see that is the case.
Yeah, and you say I should actually focus on connecting to the fear. during
Yes,
this?
yes. When
Okay.
you connect, this is my strategy. I usually
Okay.
help people just connect, connect with what you have to face it.
Yeah.
The more you can face it, the more I can help you to release it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't want to face it, because we always have free will.
Yeah.
As a soul
Right.
healer, we can help you with at a certain level, but the more you can face it, the more I can help you to release them.
Okay. Okay. So just sort of focus on it,
Yeah,
drum it
so
up.
you just let's get started. So you can close your eyes. Have a deep breath. Breathe into the lower abdomen. Expand your lower abdomen when you breathe in, and then put your attention in the lower abdomen. And then when you breathe out, contract your lower abdomen. And then inhale, expand the lower abdomen. Put your attention in the lower abdomen. Exhale, contract the lower abdomen. Inhale, expand the lower abdomen. So this is called abdominal breathing. This helps you to connect with yourself. All the blockages is within us, and it's in your quantum field. So the first thing I help you to connect with your core, and then go inside yourself and just observe what is happening at this moment, and be aware and just connect, and continue to do the abdominal breathing at the pace that is natural, comfortable to you. So at this moment, what kind of sensation you notice inside your body?
I'm breathing deeply, so I feel sort of a tingly, you know, tingle kind of sensation, which feels good. Although then I'm bringing my awareness to the fear sometimes as well. So it's sort of this juxtaposition between physically feeling okay and good and then mentally focusing a little bit on the fear.
And where do you feel which part of your body at this moment can feel this the sensation, this it have some sensation that this fear brings to?
The heart, I would say.
Yeah, so that's what I see as well. So what's the sensation now appears in your heart?
Hmm. Um, Fear of loss or tragedy,
Mm-hmm.
pain, um, kind of catastrophe, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So so feel that fear, and also the sensation that's coming up in your heart or coming up in any part of your body. Yeah. So you just continue, breathe naturally. You don't have to be super hard, just naturally, and also be aware what's happening inside your body. So now I'm going to give beloved Brandon a Tao healing to help him remove his blockages. So I'm going to ask Divine and Source, and also my Tao healer channel to give beloved Brenda a healing and blessing to help him to remove the negative information, energy, and matter, to help him to open his heart, remove the pain in the shoulder. So what is the level of pain in the shoulder at this moment? Do you feel any pain or no?
I do feel a little bit when I just moved it, and maybe in the last 60 seconds, 2 minutes, I started feeling it just like throb a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So even now, it's like I'm actually a little more aware of the pain, then it's sort of pinged a few times without me moving it, which isn't really normal. Normally, it's from laying on it or moving it a certain way that I'll feel it a little bit, and yeah, so
Yeah.
it's sort of throbbing on its own right now a little bit, which is
So the
interesting.
level, okay, very good. So level maybe from 0 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
What's the level of pain?
It comes in like waves a little bit, It's like I'm not feeling it, and then all of a sudden it'll pang, Um, hmm. It feels okay. It sort of like throbbed and was getting shots of pain randomly, and when I move it, and now I'm not feeling them anymore. And when I
Yeah,
move it, I'm not feeling it either.
yeah, yeah. I think it's just yeah, that's okay. So yeah, just be aware of that, and also the heart. Just be aware of everything that's coming up. So, thou healer channel open to give beloved Brenda a healing now. Start. So I will sing. Also, we teach how to use the sound for healing. So the sound is connecting with vibration, bring the positive information energy from the Tao for Brandon to heal. So I will sing a song to help Brandon to remove the fear and also um, other positive information help him to heal. So I also want to give everyone, and also Brenda, a blessing with Love, Peace, and Harmony song. Love, Peace, Harmony song is brought by Master Sha to help humanity to remove the negative information, the fear, stress, to bring the love, peace, harmony vibration to humanity and the Mother Earth. So everyone make a wish, what you want receive a healing and a blessing for. Either it can be anything, it can be a relationship or finances, health, or your career, or any project, or even for your dog. Yeah. So make a wish. So I will sing love, peace, harmony to bless everyone, all the listeners, as well as Brandon. So first, I will sing love, peace, harmony song in spiritual language, soul language, and then will be in English. So continue breathe into your lower abdomen at a pace that is natural for you. Expand the lower abdomen. Put your attention in the lower abdomen, connecting with your core, your inner core. And then open up your heart, every pore to receive love, peace, harmony, vibration. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. So feel the vibration of love, peace, and harmony with your every pore, every cell. Breathe them in, feel them. Go deep inside your body, feel this vibration. Let this vibration soak into your skin, your blood, your organs, your bones, and to every aspect of your lives. Letting go of any fear, any negative information. Feel the love you have for yourself. Love yourself. I love my heart and soul. And now feel the love for humanity. I love all humanity. Join the hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, harmony soul song. You can download this soul song at lovepeaceharmony.org and listen to this song to bring love, peace, harmony, vibration to your life and to heal every aspect of your life, and also help humanity to heal, to help stop the wars, starvation, and sufferings, depression, fear for humanity. So together we can heal ourselves and help humanity and Mother Earth to heal. Thank you so much, Brandon, for bringing me here and help spread this love, peace, and harmony. How are you feeling, Brandon?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was so interesting when we started to have my shoulder throbbing, and like I usually only feel it like when I'm laying on it or moving it a certain, it's pretty subtle. So it's not like it's a throbbing pain on a daily basis. And that's what it was doing at first. And now it's like, I don't feel it at all in this moment. I'll be interested to see over the coming days or go to the gym again and just see, but in this moment, nothing, So, wow, very, very beautiful. The song as well for both me and the audience is like, I so resonate with music and sound like that being healing frequency. I mean, there's nothing that moves my soul the way music does or singing does, And so when I hear it, just like it's such a powerful medium. So what a pleasant surprise and experience. Thank you so much.
How's your heart feel?
Very full, overflowing.
Beautiful, beautiful. And also, Steve, yes, our friends also suggested. I also see we also offer the Golden Healing Light Ball, Golden Healing Spring, this downloads. Kind of like you download some positive information from, computer, from the internet, right?
Yep.
And so I can give a download to your kidney because your kidney is weakened, and to help you to become stronger. So this is also part of our soul healing. So
Wow.
I will do this for you. You're very blessed.
I'm so grateful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Rulin.
Yeah. So
Wow.
you can close your eyes.
Okay.
So I want you to experience this. So Tao Golden Healing Light Ball and Healing Liquid Spring. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring for kidney to be downloaded to beloved Brandon. Transmission. So just breathe in and feel this golden light ball download to the kidney of beloved Brandon, and then now integrate with Brandon's vibrational field with his kidney. And also please turn on Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring. Please turn on, bless Brandon's kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring. Strengthen Brandon's kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring. Strengthen the kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring. Strengthen the kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, strengthening kidney. We also can ask Brandon's Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, turn on to bless everybody's kidney, including Brandon's kidney. So please turn on, bless everyone's kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, bless everyone's kidney. Tao and listeners' kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, bless every listener's kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, bless every listener's kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, bless Brandon and every listener's kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, bless Brandon and every listener's kidney. Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, bless Brandon and everyone's kidney. So at this moment, this golden light ball, golden liquid spring, have this beautiful golden light nourish Brandon's kidney. And the kidney is soaking up this nourishment, rejuvenation. It's needed so much. So Brandon, you can every day turn it on and bless your kidney, and also bless your children's kidney. You can turn on, bless your family's kidney, help them to heal and rejuvenate, nourish their kidney. Kidney is extremely important for our longevity. So go into your kidney, feel this golden light shining so brilliantly on your kidney. And the kidney is now soaking up this beautiful light and the golden liquid spring. So now Brandon's kidney become brighter and brighter, become more and more rejuvenated. Everybody's light become increasing every moment, become more vital, more rejuvenated. And your whole body become more light, has more light. So negative information brings the darkness in our body, and the positive information brings the light, rejuvenation, health. So it's wonderful. Brandon's, his show is called Positive, and that's one, So in Tao science, we actually can give the scientific, mathematic definition about what is positive information, which is the connection and order and harmony. So when we can bring the order and the connection, harmony to the world, we bring the positive information. If we bring disorder, disconnection, disharmony, we bring negative information to the world. So negative information can bring the darkness, difficulties, sicknesses, challenges, wars, shortages, and positive information brings success, good health, longevity, abundance, joy. And to also know that we all have a choice every moment. We can choose being positive and letting go of negativity, but also facing what is the deepest fear, facing the deepest negativity that's inside of us, and try to heal that. And then our life can be enhanced and to the next level. Yeah. So thank you. How are you feeling, Brandon?
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm sure the listeners are as well. Greatly appreciate you going so deep with all of that. I didn't expect it to be as deep and nourishing as it was. And I'll keep you posted on this shoulder and the other things as well. Very, very cool, very inspiring. Whew. As we sort of wind down here, I would like to ask you, I imagine you have some pretty inspiring stories up your sleeve of healings or whatever feels inspired to share. A story of synchronicity, serendipity, positive paranormal story, healing story, whatever comes to mind. If you have something fun to share, we'd love to hear.
Yeah, I have so much stories, and I have a
bet.
published book about Tao science.
Yep.
And actually shares a lot of those paranormal or amazing, miraculous stories that lead my journey to write this book called the Tao Science. And Tao Science is a science that can bring science and spirituality together, as well as can explain and that can unify all the forces and all the matters, space and time. And so I have so much amazing stories and about my great adventure. There's just I want to mention one. One of the things about Tao science is so for a long time I was trying to understand what is space and time, because to truly understand space and time at the deepest level, it is required for me to come up with the grand unification theory. And that's a fundamental question. But for a long time, there's something missing, about space and time. I just couldn't understand. And then, and one day, and I was like, I have been actually trying to think about this for more than 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then at a certain point, it's just like I was really need to understand this so that I can make that breakthrough. So I was basically thinking about day and night. And so at that time I teach, I have students, they come to me and I teach them some things. And so one of the people, I think a guest brought by my students, and he brought a book and left on my table. He said, I thought you might need this book. So he left in a desk. I did not even look at it. I thought, why I need that book. And it was about Mayan calendar. At that time, I wasn't interested in Mayan calendar at all. To me, it was not, calendar is not something very profound, so I have a lot of friends that are into the Mayan calendar, but I wasn't that interested. So, the book just on my table. But one day I was like walking around, I was stuck with my thing. I couldn't find any inspiration. So I can just randomly open up the book. And then then there's 2 sentences we're talking about something. And it was amazing. It was, at that moment, it was exactly describe the 2 formulas I come up about space and time, which at that moment, I don't know how to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like extremely, it was like describing it in the most amazing way. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And so I really got interested in this book and a Mayan calendar. So I really started to study the Mayan calendar again. And, but then, so that really helped me, but I still not completely get it. Right.
Yeah.
And so the one day I was driving to meet with my girlfriend in a bookstore. So when I was driving, I was passing this forest, and suddenly, literally, the Mayans showing up in a spiritual form, and they were talking to me. When I was driving, going through this forest.
Wow.
And they were like, we want to invite you to visit us in the pyramids. So we're working together with you to understand the space and time issue.
Wow. And where were you? What were you in? Where was this forest that you were at?
In Hawaii.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, my neighborhood.
Gotcha.
So I was driving through, and it was one of the most beautiful forests I've ever seen. And
wow. And you just saw a bunch of them in spirit.
Yeah, and I went to the bookstore, found my girlfriend, and she said, I just got this cassette. I want to buy it for you. And the cassette exactly is Mexico. And there's pyramids on it.
Wow. What a trip. Did you go?
So I went to Mexico, I think within a week or 2. And end up there with my friend.
What a prompt.
And so I visited, in the whole trip, visited 11 pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the pyramids is the biggest. And so all the pyramids, a lot of them, you cannot even touch them, But this one, actually, is the biggest pyramids. It is have, I think, 13 stories and 12 stories. And each one of them has 20 steps. So it's kind of the whole pyramid signifies the whole calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can climb it. So I end up, so I went to visit there. It was really like, it's complete synchronicity. It's almost like they're waiting for me,
Wow.
And so I visited the whole day there, and it was like really like, it was like I came to a family and come to home, and they were like treat me in somehow it would just happened. I was eating this breakfast and in a very beautiful home, and it was just like so amazing. And then and by the end of the day, I was thinking about, I really want to camp here. Can I camp here? I kind of like hesitating. I was just walking around really hesitating. And then somebody walking up to me, he said, "You can go over there to camp," but I dare not talk about it, because how can you
Wow.
camp in the in the pyramids,
Yeah.
right? So I take
Wow.
that as a signal, and
Yeah.
I end up did camping with I bought a hammock
Mm-hmm.
and camped on the pyramids.
Wow.
And so on that night, I had a deep, profound understanding about space and time.
Wow.
And that's really helped me to get the one formula about the grand unification theory. So,
Wow.
so that is one of the things, yeah, very, very, very profound.
Wow. That's quite the story. And when you said, you had profound realization about space and time, it's what it led you to, and to a new formula that you're working with to create, the sort of the unification formula, if you will. So you're actively still working on solving this riddle.
Yes, yes. Actually,
Personally.
We published quite many papers, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, we literally derived the one formula that can, to me, can explain amazing.
Wow. 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 I'm curious, what comes to mind for me as a guest that I had many years ago on the show, who's deep on the same path. Nassim Haramein. Are you
Yes,
familiar
yes.
with Nassim
Yeah,
Haramein?
yeah, I know
Okay.
him. Yes. Hmm.
Okay. I figured you might. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Wow. Well, Rulin, you are quite the inspiration. This has been so incredible. For those who want to follow your work, we're going to do sort of a redirect to all the offerings that you have, and that'll be at positivehead.com/Rulin, Rulin, and I'll also put that in the show notes. But maybe you can explain, sort of what offerings you and the organization has, and then how they could get in contact with you as well.
Um, so in drsha.com, and also I do private, our organization do private consultations, healings. For example, even with Brandon, I will, if it's still going on, do more practice to turn on the golden light bulb, golden liquid spring, maybe even do more serious consultation, maybe have one session. And usually, I have people like very depressed for many years, and coming to me for private consultation within one session, it was completely gone. And it's really works, because we help you to really go deep and really remove that negativity, and also guide to you change your thoughts, change the way you think, and have a new habit, start a new life, and also learn from the past, from what your ancestor and from what you have done. The challenges, difficulties meant for us to have greater wisdom, more empowered, and to live a better life. So we need to learn how to do it. So that is need consultation, also needs healing. So in my consultation, I will do both. So that is our organization does. So you can find me and also other Tao healers in our organization, drsha.com, DRSHA.com. So our organization offers amazing soul healings every day, free healings, and every day on the Facebook, Dr. Shah, Dr. Master Shah Facebook, and also on the Instagram, and almost every day. So join us, and so you receive the soul healing. Soul healing can change every aspect of our lives, and this is the root cause. And I have people have cancer, they have to have operations, but then they come to me and their cancer is completely healed. They don't have to have that operation. But not only that, their life can be advanced. Their self-love issues, their love issues, and they can be and can be removed, removed, and they can really start to love themselves and become happy and have abundant life. So soul healing is so important. I cannot say enough enough of it. I couldn't, for many years, I worked so hard on my science, I couldn't make the progress. Because of the soul healing, now it's so easy for me to do scientific research. So it
Wow.
can be applied for every aspect of life. I cannot recommend it enough for everyone. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, this has been so amazing. I know there will be listeners that want to reach out and connect and check out some of these things. And the book Tao Science also sounds really fascinating. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing in the world. And I do have one final question for you. And it is my cliche closing question. And it is this. In 60 seconds or less, what is the meaning of life according to Dr. Rulin Shu?
So the meaning of life is for us to reach our true self, which is the source.
Yeah.
And
beautifully
we are
said.
all powerful, and we are all capable, omnipotent, omnisentient beings.
Beautifully said. Such a pleasure connecting with you. Thank you so much for the soul healing and please continue to do the amazing work. I know you will. And I look forward to hearing your theory of everything percolating around the world as it comes through. You certainly are pure enough to be a worthy delivery mechanism for Source, I would say. So, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, and also next year we're going to do some conference and expo in the Bay Area. So
Great.
maybe you can help us to promote it. I'd be happy to be on your show again.
I'd love to help get the word out.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
Maybe if you want to, you can come to our expo and conference.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be great. I'm sure Steve will keep me in touch, or you can keep me in touch and up to date on those things. And otherwise, all of you for tuning your beautiful brainwaves into another episode, and Incredible Hearts, of course. Thank you so much. Until next time, journey well.
Okay, thank you. Love you. Take care.
Love you.
Thank you so much.
Bye for
Really
now.
grateful.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you, Rulin. This has been wonderful.